this sound because I've never actually used this microphone here. I've never used this microphone on my phone, only through my computer. Or not on Google Live, I guess. So let's just go in and check to see if it's all good. Yeah, the sound is actually pretty nice. Yes, that we love. Yeah, the sound is actually pretty nice. Yes, that we love. Okay, so just need to hear that back. Okay. And as always, sometimes I speak British, sometimes I speak American. I'm Norwegian, so I just play around with accents a lot. I was watching a British show yesterday, so of course it sticks with me through today. Okay, this topic, you guys, I am, what can I say? I've been longing to create this episode, and most of all because I've been dealing with addiction to sugar for a long time, and I have a long history with it. I am not really sure like how much is gonna come through on the stream. Like I'm really doing this because I felt the urge to share with you all, because I know this is like a huge, as I see that this is a massive problem in the world, and also especially certain things are really highlighted to me for women, like what I really see the sugar does to your body, your system, and especially like your hormones and your sex drive. It has a lot of effect on it. And I've done a few episodes before where I talk about like your hormones, like oxytocin, dopamine, and how we are now wired at this point in time in the world to be addicted to fake sources, meaning like sources that trigger the activation of those hormones within us, but they're not actually real. They're not actually based from within what the human body really and actually needs, right? That's what I mean. I'm just going to change my seat. I have a cat on my lap here, which is soon is probably going to see. So he's joining us for this session, bringing us some good energy, hopefully, or at least peace. He's a very good sleeper, very old, but a very good sleeper. So obviously I'm recording this live on YouTube. I also have a YouTube channel for those of you who follow my podcast, and for my podcasters or for my YouTubers, I also have a podcast where you can listen to these episodes without the video. But I'm gonna go into sugar addiction. So I decided a week ago, like this today is day 8. So this means that I've managed to be without sugar for 7 days. And I'm so proud of that. I'm actually very, very proud of that. And I knew that like it is time. I've known for a lot of months, like many months, that like I want to quit this habit of mine because it's unhealthy. Like I noticed that it's unhealthy because of the way that my skin looks, the way that my sleep was disrupted, the way that my energy levels were just down so much and so often, and all of the other processes in the body were just crazy. We're going to go deeper into those. So I got to the point where I have a conversation with my man I think I was, a week ago, what was I doing? This is day 8. I'm just like recalibrating my brain here. So I wanted to start this because there's a bunch of things. So I knew that it was time. It was just time to handle it. And I had a period. Yes, this is what kind of sparked it, or just gave me the drive to just say, no, no, no further, not anymore. I don't want to be a slave to this addiction anymore. And it came to a point where I was so tired taking care of my horses, right? I've been alone with my horses since like the autumn until 2nd of January. That's when we got a new horse coming in, which means a new owner coming in, which means more help. And I got to the point where I was just so tired. A week ago, I was so tired. I felt like my energy was just so drained and overwhelmed. I am a self-projected projector. I don't have a lot of energy to begin with, like steady energy. And so again, having just full responsibility for both my horses and come winter time, and it was just a lot during a lot of months, right, over a long period of time. And what happened was that I was so freaking tired and overwhelmed, and I felt like I was never able to keep my head above water. And I had a conversation with my man about it. Like he notices, like, well, you're kind of always tired. Like, do you have enough room and space to actually have the horses? And I started thinking about, well, can I actually manage to have them? Like, is it actually right for me to have them, just for both them and me? And then I really needed to look at things, and I remember, and I love this about starting to kind of be curious about what drains you, and starting to be curious about where you want to go, being curious about what actually puts you in the state that you're in, whether it's a great state, or whether it's a draining or dark state. Because when that happens, when you kind of set that intention, or when you start to be curious about it, I feel like the universe can fill in details. The universe can fill in details, God can fill in details. You start seeing signs, or you start being guided in some way. And I remember mucking in the horse's bed, and I don't know if I was asking for something, but it just came to me, sentences. I'm very guided from above. I just receive sentences. I receive images a lot. And I also do that when I guide my clients, and guide people, or just with people in general, and also in my own life. And I just remember hearing a sentence: watch your energy drainers. And I instantly knew what it was about. I instantly knew. And after this sentence, I was just like, okay, I'm going to be open to it. What does this mean? And I knew that it has nothing to do with the horses. Like, you already got it. It's already easier for you since this person came along. It's already easier for you. You have another system right now where you can actually just feed them one time during the day instead of 3. So you have more time. The horses is like, the voice was like, just like, you got this. The guidance is, you got the horses. So it wasn't that. And it was nice for me to kind of like, okay, I understand now that this is not the problem. The problem is not the horses. This is not overwhelming me. However, the other 2 things that came up really clearly for me was sugar and sleep. Big energy drainers. And sugar is such an energy drainer, right? Like, all of the additives, all of the shit that comes in the waste, literal waste, like additives, things that are so disruptive and damaging to our system, that comes with these sugary foods. And I'm talking about, like, for me, it's my Achilles heel has been like baked goods, like cakes and cinnamon buns, like my favorite thing in the world. After doing my castor cleanse, which I've also talked about here on YouTube in one of my shorts, I show you how to do a castor cleanse. After doing that castor cleanse, chocolate is no longer a thing for me. I feel like instantly inflamed in my throat and in my gut when I eat chocolate, and it's just way too sweet for me. I just don't want it after doing the castor cleanse. So for me, it's been about like baked goods and like these artificial carbs, you know, because potatoes and sweet potatoes and sometimes like really good bread, you know, things with carbs in it is not the problem, right? It's the fake synthetic, you know, gluten filled, wheat filled baked goods and also candy that has so many additives. Like you can like read the label. It's so unnatural for our body to consume these things. And so I knew that this is what it's about. It's cutting out, because for me it's been daily. It's been daily intake, and I'm going to share with you what this has led me to receive, like what I've actually gotten from that is so bad. A year ago, maybe even like a year till 2 years ago, I started having rashes. Like rashes that were so itchy. And it came whenever I like changed clothes, like change out of my tight clothes, or whenever the temperature changed, I started like flaring up red. And whenever I was itching at that spot or those spots, like I could have nights where I just itched all over my body and it turned red, and it also were swollen. So if you have rashes, it's a massive, massive sign that your histamine is spiked, right? You're having an allergic reaction to something, or histamine is just way too spiked. There's blood consistently in your sugar, and your system is like, we don't know where to put this. Please understand. And it's giving you a sign through your skin. Also, parasites, right? Parasites feed off sugar, and these additives, it's like fuel for them. They feed off of them. They lay eggs, like they thrive when these things are inside your body. And it's not good. It's not a healthy thing. It's not good for you. And I also forgot to mention, like, questions and comments, like leave them below. I'm here for you to talk about that. And yes, rashes were a huge thing for me. And I thought that I had like you know, these little things that live inside your skin. I don't remember the English word for it, but in Norwegian it's scab. And I tried to like, you know, wash every single sheet and put things in the freezer and put these medicine things on my skin all over and in my hair and everything. Like I tried 2 rounds. And then I went to the doctor, and I'm not a fan of going to the doctor unless it's like, I don't know what to do. Can you please check this? Because I always choose natural remedies first. Like that's just my thing. I've always been that way since I was a kid. I've just intuitively known that something is off. Like I don't trust these people with my body. I just do not. Never. And I've had so much trouble with my gut and operated a few times and stuff like that. So just always intuitively known that I know the way. I know the way. Nature knows the way. But I went there, and she told me that, oh, actually, she printed out like some things for me, and she said, read about this, and if this makes sense to you, this is what you have. And it's like, I think it's, what's the, I think it's rashes, just in English. Elveblest in Norwegian, rosacea. And she wanted to like, you know, send me to a skin doctor, and I was like, no, that's not happening, because I already know what they're going to do, like prescribe some things, right? Maybe this would be a person who would give me like advice on the food, but I'm like, no, I trust me, and I'm going to do my own research first. And then I started learning about parasites. I started learning about like every single skin thing is usually a parasite thing. And I'm not saying I'm not saying like you get a zit here and there, but it's like when you have continuously flares or bumps or things, reactions happening in your skin, that's usually why. So why did I want to do this? Why start, why start this thing? I wanted to, like, what was so clear for me that day I was mucking was energy is everything. Like your energy, your creative flow, your sexual energy, how you meet life is important. How you meet life, how you show up in your life. And it's like at some point you just get tired of being fucking tired. And is realizing that sugar plays a huge part because it clugs your system. Your system never gets to actually heal and recalibrate and be alkaline, like because it messes so much with your microbiome and your gut, and every single system is affected by it eventually. So I wanted to have a better quality of life, of my days. I wanted to feel better. I wanted to feel alive more. I wanted to feel more alive, and this is also a point. This is also a point. But what I want to say is that I'm doing this as an experiment. I forgot to introduction this to you. I just made up that word. Introduction it to you. Because I'm doing it as an experiment, and I want to take you on with me with it. And I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this, but when I had this conversation with my man, he said that do it until you're free. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah. Until I'm free. Until you're free, so that the sugar does not decide that it wants to be in your body. You're the one deciding when to put it into your body, and it's easy for you to say no. It's not something that you're overrun. Your system is not overrun by it. Your mind or your tongue does not override your intuition, your gut, what you really want in that moment for you. Because your body can handle it. I truly believe that, yes, if you have a clean system, if you're very good at cleaning yourself and you're very good at eating foods that are actually supporting an alkaline body, and you're good at like clearing and releasing energetically and emotionally as well, and you move, like you have movement through your day, like you do exercise or you move, and you have like physical labor or whatever, like I truly believe that your body is able to clean it out and handle those things, but it's not able to handle it if it comes into your system every day. If you're constantly eating it, if you're constantly shoving things in your mouth where your system is like, no, and a huge teller is if you get tired. If you get tired after eating, if you get like, you feel blah, you get bloated, you get zits, you feel tired, maybe you actually also ate just way too much. That's a thing too, overeating, right? Also something that I'm actually working on right now, to stop when I'm fulfilled and not just to eat because it's so good, right? Because it drains energy to eat way more than you need to. And I want to do it as an experiment, and I want to take you guys with me all the way until I'm free. That could be a month, that could be 6 months. I'm open. And I want to share with you the dark moments. I want to share with you the light moments. I want to share with you the insights that I'm receiving. I want to share with you the knowledge that I'm sitting on and the wisdom that I have and what I gained, so that you can learn from it, so that I can guide you through it. If you ever want to have coaching on this, if you ever want my guidance specifically unique to you during 1 hour sessions, or you want coaching that lasts for like a week or 2 or a month, that's what I do. I'm here guiding women to ultimate fulfillment in their body, whether it's emotionally, physically, spiritually, energetically, sexually. That's what I do. That's what I'm best at. And I'm going to take you guys with me, and I'm excited to make like a series of this. Yes. So I have, since it's now a week, what I've been experiencing is deep, intense cravings. Like day one, no problem. Day two, no problem. Day three was very difficult for me. Day four was very difficult. Day five, kind of difficult, but not as difficult. Day six, difficult. Day seven, very okay. And today's day 8. I feel like I'm okay with it. And there are so many mindset things that I'm also going into. I'm going to create more episodes for you so that I don't like create a fucking hour podcasting here. I like to do like shorter episodes and just put out more of them. But I knew that it was going to be hard. I've tried it before. I knew that it was going to be hard. My expectation was that I remember saying to myself, it's going to be hard. It's going to be so difficult. I'm going to have these intense cravings. I'm going to, especially in the moments, like this is also a key thing for you to understand. This is a pro tip coming from me right now. Are you ready? There's going to be moments where you're met with your habits. Like if you look at habits and sugar, what habits spike your craving? What habits or situations or environments actually sets you up to buy something or eat something, take in something like this that is not good for you? And this could be with any food. Maybe you overeat, and you can use the same question for that thing. For me, just to be very like open and honest with you, for me it was whenever I was going home from being at my man's place, I have to go to the city and the metro, and there's like this place, where they have coffee, and they have like this insanely good baked goods. Like they have these rolls and buns, and they're delicious, right? So I started creating a habit of going there on the way to my train home. Because I have time, I have like 20 minutes before my train leaves, so there was like plenty of time, and it's also on the way to the train, right? So I started doing it, and I started noticing that this is a habit. And I'm also reading a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and it just became very clear to me, no pun intended, it became very clear to me that, oh, okay, this is becoming a habit of mine right now, and I don't want this to be a habit. So to get a better understanding of when this happens so that you can actually get ahead of it, is understanding what habits, environments are, or emotions even. That too is a big one for me. What emotions put you in the place of wanting more sugar? So a huge thing to know and understand and reflect on is what this food actually gives you. And now I'm going into the details of how you can understand the way that sugar works in your body and how it's crucial for your system as a woman, for your creativity, and for your sex drive, okay? The emotion that sugar gives me specifically, talking from my experience, it can be different for you, but I think it's also very similar. It can be very similar because I think it spikes the same kind of emotions, or like it triggers the same emotions in a lot of us. So I asked myself, what feeling is eating these foods giving me? It gives me joy, like intense joy. I feel like I'm like, oh, I'm cozying it up. I feel intense joy. And that joy allows me to feel alive. And I was like, holy fuck, aliveness. And one of the words for me, like in my life, is feeling alive. I am alive. aliveness to me brings so much energy and drive and motivation and inspiration and meaning in my life. Feeling alive. And these foods brings about that feeling. And the feeling itself is a good thing, but not when you're looking at the way that you're living your life. Feeling alive for me, for you, should come from life itself, not a food, not a thing that is like literally full of things that are damaging your system. In my opinion, my truth here is, and the way that I see it, is that feeling alive, feeling joy, and being filled by that energetically within your body comes from feeling the pulse of life. That's when you feel alive. Comes from the way that you're creating with life. It comes through interactions with people. It comes through how slowed down you are so you can smell life. You feel the air on your skin. You notice the birds flying by. You appreciate what life is really bringing you. That is what real spike of aliveness should feel like. That's how you create it yourself versus being addicted to it from a food. Because we all want to feel something. We all want to feel more. And when we're at the stage of time in the universe, in the world right now, the way that it's built right now, we're so numbed out that we are eating foods that wants, because we want to feel something. We want more, and we don't want more material things. It's not that we're chasing. When we look at layers down, like below what you're chasing, what you want, or the food that you want to eat, when you look below and the layers below that, is that you want to feel something. You want the feeling that it gives you. And you can create that by yourself from within, whenever and all the time. You can do that. And your body will literally thank you for it in so many other ways. Not just feeling alive, but like the way you manifest, the way that your skin glows. Like your frequency becomes lighter. It becomes more alive. You become more connected to earth, to God, to all of to people around you. You know, the real things that if everything comes down to it, it's, oh, sorry. It's you. I was trying to like pound my chest there, like on my heart. It's you, right? The people, the connection to the earth, to energy, to what we create, to animals. These things are what really matter. And I know that you see that more and more clearly. I know that this is the world that you want to live in. I know that this is a world that you want to create for yourself and be embodied in fully. And I'm inviting you to message me if that's something you want to explore further and you're ready for it. But that was the thing, that is the thing that inspired it all. And what I had to understand is that I'm replacing feeling something with food. And that's huge. That's deep. And that's also when you understand that you have an addiction, because the food has power over you. I remember needing, like going to the store late at night because I wanted a cinnamon bun, or I needed something sweet. I wanted that cake. And that's when you know that it's like it's overriding your system. Because if I were to really tap into my intuition, if I were to really just check in, it would be like, no, you don't need this. But it's a tongue and a brain thing where it's like, yeah, you get obsessed. You're kind of like, I need the hit. just like any other addiction. It's just this is more normalized because it's not as harmful, right? Like with those, fingers, peace fingers, harmful. It's not as harmful, but it is. It is. It's harmful to your purpose. It's harmful to your creativity. It's harmful to your sexual energy. And I'm going to dive into, in a couple of seconds, just going to sip my water. I'm going to dive into the effects I felt, the effects that you will feel, what it allows you to feel now. Like what else comes from letting that fucking go, letting the sugar go. Okay, I'm going to take a sip of water. Water with salt, always a good idea. Like real salt though, not table salt, like real salt. Okay, Celtic salt, sea salt. That's what you need. And I always cook my water as well. Okay. Just checking my notes a little. Yeah, I am convinced that sugar suppresses our sexual aliveness. Convinced, convinced. And here's why I'm convinced. So, day one. Okay, so the way that it works, and when I work with my clients, we get to figure out, especially like if you have that this is a part in your life that you want to improve, like your relationship with food, we need to figure out what works for you, because we're so different. What works for you when it comes to cutting out certain foods, or when it comes to eating the way that you really align with, that really supports your female body and your system? Like, what's your dream version? And not like some fake standard that you think you should have, but like really at a foundational level, what do you want? And I know that like manifesting generators, like you can handle food in such a different way than projectors and reflectors and manifestors can, because you have a bigger like motor, which is good thing, right? All of the designs are beautifully designed, but we have to learn how to live with it and in alignment with it, which means that especially for the ones of us who are not mani-gens or gens, we work differently, and so it's going to be a little harder because the world is set up more for mani-gens and gens. So it's going to be a little harder, but we're able to do it. Like, we have the power to do so. We can literally create anything that we want and embody whatever we want. So figuring out what works for you. What works for me is like saying just no. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to say yes to take it in. I'm not going to have it in my home. It's just a no. The answer to wanting that sugar, the answer to buying that cake, the answer to that kind of fake sugar with a bunch of additives, like things that we don't really fucking need and it's not natural, the answer is no. That's how I can do it. I would not be able to do it if I sometimes say yes and sometimes no. No, I need a hardcore no. And then I do a check-in in late February. That's when I've set the date. I do a check-in. Where am I at right now? And then maybe I go in and like tweak the process a little bit, but you will know, because I'm going to create episodes here. So what works for you? Is it the hard no? Is it this 2 weeks I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do that? Or are you actually able to be as disciplined? So like, okay, if I am gifted these foods, or if I am invited and they have dessert, like I'm going to say yes, and good for you, like go for that. But figure out what works for you. And then you just start to fucking experiment, right? So letting you know what, give me 1 second here. yeah, letting you know what I've actually experienced, what's come from this, right? And this started on day 3 or day 2. I think it started on day 2 actually. Day 2 with none of these foods or additives or anything. Day 2, what happened was that I started feeling my creativity going up. I was like, okay, I feel the urge, and it's like a deep urge, like from deep within the body, like the gut. Like, I want to create something. I want to create. I want to move. I want to, like, I had more energy. I wanted to play more. I wanted to be like, okay, I want to go here. I want to move here. I want to do all these things. There's like this more drive, more motivation, more aliveness, right? More aliveness. And with that, I felt like, okay, this is interesting. Only day 2, and this is what happens. And with the creative energy, I believe so fully that creative energy and sexual energy, they're so intertwined. So with that, I started to feeling more turned on, and not like drop dead horny, not in that way, but just more, like a little more oomph, a little more desire, a little more tingling. That's what it was. And I was like, okay, amazing, cool to observe this, what's happening in my body. And it has not stopped. Day 3 was super hard because I started having intense cravings. I was at home. I, went into my usual thing where I'm out with the horses, and I come in and I make some dinner and I sit down and I watch a movie or a series or something. And usually that's where I usually crave this cake or any of the foods, because it's like, it's been a habit of mine to eat it late at night. So of course, like when it gets late, that's when I crave it. When I feel very emotionally drained, or like I wanna hug, I've usually eaten it, right? And so it's replacing nourishment in some form. And I remember in my past experiments, what I did was giving myself a hug. I understood that, oh, this piece of cake or candy supports me right now, but what I actually need is a hug. The spiritual or energetic or emotional need that I have right now is a hug. It's not the food, it's actually a hug. And so I started giving myself the hugs, right? Oh my god. Oh, sorry. Just itchy ear. And yes, day 3, intense freaking cravings. And it was to the point where I was just like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I was like, breathe through it. The answer is no. The answer is no. And it's remembering a mantra that I've had is that it's okay. It's okay. It's just uncomfortable. It's not dangerous. You're okay. You just breathe. You're not going to have sugar, so that's fine. Just notice, observe the craving, and it's fine. But also be aware of what comes up through it. And I started getting very annoyed. Day 3 and day 4, I was getting very annoyed. I was very snappy. I got annoyed from just little things, like if one of the horses did something, or if, I dropped something on the ground. I was just very annoyed. And it wasn't from any other reason than, okay, I'm just snappy because I'm not getting the thing that I want. It's like a brat, it's like a teenager that does not get what she wants. And she's like, ugh, she's just angry at the world and angry at her parents or whatever, because she's not getting what she wants. And that's also addiction, a sign that it's an addiction, right? You get bitter, no, you get annoyed and you get snappy because you're not getting the thing that you're used to. And this is a good thing. This is like detoxing of the mindset, detoxing of certain emotions. And they also need to come up. And the thing is, being so prepared is a part of the recipe. Being prepared of the worst is the recipe. So that was day 4. Day 5 and day 6 was more like I got these intense hits and then they kind of just went away. And I got the intense hits of needing it, wanting it, and then it went away. So I'm going to share with you now the light. The light. The truth from the rise. I've shared with you the truth from the fall, dark, the things that have been, why I've been craving these things and why I've eaten it, to suppress some form of emotion. So, yes, one thing I've noticed is energy levels are way, way, way more stable and they're way higher. And I think especially if you're a projector or reflector or manifester, energy is your most sacred thing because you don't have a lot of it from before. You don't have steady flow of it from before. So doing everything that you can to preserve and sustain your energy is a massive hack for you. That's why I love the sentence that came to me that day. Watch your energy drainers. I knew it was sugar. And I also had a conversation with my man before that day, or not before that day, after that day, a couple of days later, after starting like my sugar addiction on day 1, is that like that aliveness, you know, feeling alive. And because he's very amazing at feeling, he's sensing and feeling things before I even do. And I thought that I was sensitive, but he's like way, way, way more. Like he's from a different planet, I feel like. He's an incredible feeler. But he said that like I feel this stuck energy. Like I feel stuck. I don't feel the flow. And he's absorbing things that I'm emitting. And it's like, yeah, this totally makes sense because I already knew what has been in my field. And what was in my field was that I knew that watch your energy levels, your energy drainers, like feeling stuck in purpose and moving forward and aliveness, the thing that creates life, the thing that creates guidance and inspiration to go and do, right? To create, to move, right, in the world. And what was blocking that for me was the sugar. And so, of course, he was feeling that, but I also got a lot of inspiration from it. So my energy levels rise, and not like high, like, oh, I have all this energy and I'm going to conquer the world, but it's like it's more stable. And then my skin and my radiance my skin looks better. It doesn't look as dry, and my like tiny lines are gone, which I kind of knew because that's what's happened before when I've just quit doing it for a month or a week because I couldn't really handle more in the past. I didn't really have the right tools or all of the tools, and I didn't want to admit to the importance of quitting sugar in this way. My skin and my radiance, and again, feeling alive from within, of course, allows you to radiate more as a woman. It allows your glow to be bigger, and also as a man, actually. And I've noticed a huge difference in my thoughts, the space and room that's now in my mind. I feel more calm. I don't have a lot of negative thoughts. And it's interesting, I've heard and read about parasites actually giving you these negative frequencies and vibrations in your body that kind of gives you these thoughts that are negative and disruptive to your natural state, to your soul, right? So I don't have as many thoughts that feel like they're just like firing everywhere. And I don't have as negative thoughts. And with that, it's like I'm more calm. There's more slowness to me. There's more stillness in the mind. And that's, it's so beautiful to feel. And then we have the sex drive. And I feel like this is so linked and intertwined with creative energy. I feel more tingles. I feel more expressed in it, more alive in it. Like I could just stay there more, because it just gets to rise within me. I think sugar leaves a lot of your cells, but definitely your hormones, very stagnate, numb. It's like they just cover the layers of your hormones, so they can't really rise. And I've spoken about this before when it comes to your cycle, the hormones, the phases of your cycle, and also in my cycle course, I have an entire course to go off birth control. I can link this in the description, but there's also the other video I've done on YouTube where I talk about that journey, where I talk about the ups and the downs and the experience with it, the good and the bad and the ugly and the light and the effects it has on you. And I have a course where I go into detail on exactly how you track your cycle in a natural way. No devices, no pills, nothing. You do it in a natural way. And I've done it now for 5-6 years. And it's been working beautifully for me because I do it responsibly. I teach you how to do it responsibly. I teach you how to do it in a natural way. I teach you how to do it so that you can trust your body completely, and noticing the signs that it gives you, so you know at what times you're more likely to get pregnant and what times you're not, and how you can actually set up your sex life around that. It is so important, but that's in the course. I tell you everything you need to know. You come out of the course feeling empowered. You come out of the course feeling so like trusting with your body, and you come out of the course with the wisdom, with the practical info that you need to follow through. It's not just some little thing that you read about and then you go, you have every single thing that you need. You understand every phase, you understand the hormones in what phase. And this is when it comes down to the sugar, you learn in what phases you need more carbs, right? Not sugar, not the cakes, not the things. But it can also lead you to understand your cravings better. But in what phase you need more carbs and in what phases you need way more protein. And the protein actually supports you within curbing your sugar cravings. So, but that's in the description. You can buy that when you feel ready for that. So, and sex drive. And what I meant to say is that when we look at sugar levels, like blood sugar, and how estrogen needs your blood sugar levels to be low, like estrogen needs your body to be insulin sensitive, which means that less blood or less sugar in your blood spikes your estrogen levels, and estrogen is a very linked to sex drive, right? But it needs to be a good balance of progesterone and estrogen, and that's also why we need a balance of carbs here and no carbs here in the different phases. Yes, and that brings me to my next point, which is alignment with cycle, right? And aliveness. That's what I've experienced so far. This is day 8 where I'm speaking to you in this moment, and I am continuing until I'm free. I love the sentence that my man just said, or said, until you're free. Do it until you're free. So, thank you so much for listening. I hope you got a lot of golden clues here, just around sugar, around your cycle, around addictiveness, around how to actually think when it comes to it. And it has definitely changed my life and my body right now, and I'm excited to take you on this experiment further and share more insights and things with you. So until next time, goodbye.